Today I'm going to talk to you about how a single creator made $1 million, okay? So, a little bit about me. So last year, I came to nassummit, and I came on stage, and I talked about the idea of a community business. I said, this is how creators build businesses. And I introduced a method called Robo. This was reach your audience, own your audience's data, build a relationship with your audience, and offer them a product that they can buy. So this last year was just an idea. In the past 1 year, thousands of people around the world have used this method and have made millions of dollars. And so last week, we had our first creator who made $1 million on Nas.io from their online community. And so I wanted to use this time to actually break down for you exactly how they did it. Step by step, how they did it, so you can apply some of these methods yourself. So firstly, a little bit about this person, okay? I cannot reveal their exact name because they've asked to remain private, but I'll tell you about a little bit about their channel and their characteristics. So this is a content creator. They're based in Latin America. They have Instagram and TikTok. They create a lot of content. They also have a podcast, a YouTube podcast, and they sell physical products. What are physical products? They're things like merch, t-shirts, clothing online to their audience. And they talk about a lot of different things in their content. They're mostly lifestyle. So they talk about fitness, they talk about finance, parenting, and health. And they also had taken some steps to own their audience. They have an email list, they have a Telegram group, so they had some idea that they need to build a relationship. But they were facing many problems. So they came to us and they said, look, we are struggling. Our physical products are not making much profit. Because what we have to do is we have to make the products, we have to ship the products, we have to deal with returns. It's not making much profit. We're also, as a creator, very time poor. We're making a lot of content and we don't have much time to think about building a business. And the third problem we have is that we haven't figured out a direct way to monetize our audience. So they said to us, they said, Alex, I want to start building a community business, but I have all these problems. So what I want to know from you is what is the fastest way to get started? So I said to them, what I recommend is that you should do something called launch a challenge. So I looked at all the data we have on Nas.io and I said, look, there are a lot of creators who are making money from launching a challenge. What is a challenge? It's a digital experience. The idea as a creator is you set your audience a goal, a target, and you create daily steps that they need to do to achieve that target. And the most important part of it is that they do it together. So they may do it over 7 days, they may do it over 30 days, but they have some sort of community experience. So they said, okay, I'm interested, but I'm worried it's going to take up time. Now, why should I do this? I said, well, look, it's very different than an online course. So when most creators think about making money online, they think about a course. But courses take time. You have to shoot the course. You have to edit the course. It sometimes takes months. But with a challenge, you just need to give people daily actions. So they said, okay, let's do it. So we're going to start with fitness, and we're going to create a 30-day fitness challenge. So the way they did build the product is they said, look, we want to keep it easy. So I'm going to invite one expert, which was a personal trainer, and we're going to do live sessions, and it's going to be a daily action. So every day, the audience is going to have to do some exercise and submit what they've done. So they put this together in 2 days, and they decided to market it to their audience. So how did they market it? This is a very common question. They marketed it on social media, so they posted it on their channel. They used paid ads, so they basically made content for ads, and they ran ads on Instagram and on TikTok, and they also marketed it to their email list. The results? Thousands of people bought the challenge. Now just remember, they said that their problem was they didn't have enough time, they didn't know what to do, they put it together in just a few days and thousands of people bought. And for them, they were like blown away. They said, wow, this is the most profitable product I have ever done, I've ever launched. Why? Because it's digital. There was no physical production of the product. There was no shipping. There was no returns. It was all online. And not only was it digital and it was profitable, but the audience loved it, right? They said, wow, we get to participate in something with the creator, with you. We get to meet other people. We get to take action and see our progress. They loved it. And they said, you know what? We love it so much. Are you doing anything else? We want more, right? So they said, well, what can we do? Right? We want more. We want to do more with our community, with our audience. So we said, okay, let's actually take all these people who are finishing this fitness challenge, and why don't you launch a second challenge so they can continue? So they said, okay, let's try a second challenge in fitness. So they created something called an upsell. An upsell meaning at the end of this one program, I'll offer you a second program, and they put it inside their challenge, which is on nas.io, and it was called the Fitness Bootcamp. So after completing the 30 days, on the 28th day, you have the second option. So they launched it, and they were like, let's see what happens. And the results were quite incredible. So they had more people who bought. So there were many people in the challenge who continued. But the best part was they didn't spend a single dollar on marketing because the people were already engaged. They were already inside. So it was just pure profit. So after just a few weeks, there were 2 challenges that they launched. And they not only that, but they now had their community. They had 50,000 members who had joined to take part in these 2 challenges. So they said, great, Alex, we want more. What can we do? Right? I said, okay, let's think about this. You're in fitness, right? You've just done 2 challenges. What else are people interested in fitness? And we said, okay, actually, maybe they'll be interested in a digital product. So if you're interested in fitness, you want to know about a meal plan. You may want another workout routine. So why don't you put together a digital workbook? And they said, okay, great, let's do that. So they put together a digital workbook and they offered it to their audience via email. So they had 50,000 emails and they sent it as an email on a tool called Magic Reach, which is inside nas.io. And thousands of people bought the workbook, which was crazy for them. Their mind was blown. So in just 3 months, they had sold 2 challenges and 1 workbook. And what do you think they said? They said, we want more. They said, this is great. What else can we do? And I sat down with them and I said, look, now it's time to diversify. So remember the content that I showed you at the beginning. Their lifestyle, they create fitness, they create finance, parenting, and health. Let's launch a second vertical. So they said, okay, well, the second one we want to tackle is finance. So let's launch a finance challenge. But actually, finance is a really valuable resource because you can actually make money. So we want to make it a little bit more expensive. And so we need to show that we can have more value. So we said, instead of having 1 expert inside the challenge, let's get 5 experts who know all different things about finance. Let's invite them to be part of it. And we can share revenue with them as well. And they said, well, look, let's now introduce a new way to market. So remember we talked about social media and we talked about paid ads. We said, look, we now have 50,000 people who've bought our 3 other products. They really like what we offer. Let's introduce an affiliate program. So what that means is that they were able to get their audience to sell their product for them in exchange for some commission. So in nas.io, they set up their affiliate program and they launched it. And what was really interesting was it wasn't just the existing members that bought the product, but a lot of new members who may be not interested in fitness, but interested in finance, bought the finance challenge. And not only that, but actually, while they launched it, a finance brand saw their challenge. It was a bank. And they said, hey, we want to sponsor you to run a free finance challenge, and we want you to integrate our product inside, and we will pay you to do that. And not only will we pay you, but we will sponsor a prize for all the audience who take part. And they said, okay, let's do it. So they launched a free finance challenge, and they had 60,000 people signed up. And this was actually a win-win for them, because not only for the brand it was great, because they were able to get exposure, and for the creator it was great because they got paid, but also they got all these new leads that they could add to the community. So they said, great, finances worked, fitness has worked, we want more, let's do another vertical. So they chose parenting. And for parenting, they decided a different approach. So instead of just launching something really mass market, they went back to their data inside their community. So they went onto the platform and they said, let me look at who are parents in my community. And because they collected data, they could see that a percentage of their community were parents and were buying products. So then they said, okay, let's go deep. Let's offer a physical event. We're going to make it a little bit more expensive, but we're going to get all the parents to meet up. So they ran a physical event for parenting. They ran ads, and 400 people bought, and it was a lot more expensive. It was like a couple of $100s. So now they've done 3 different verticals, and they had 1 more vertical left. Remember, there was fitness, finance, parenting, and the last one was health. So they said, okay, health. Health is a bit more complicated, right? Because in health, you have to be more of an expert. And so they said, how can we launch a health product? So we sat down with them and we said, well, who do you know? And they said, actually, we know a lot of health experts. We know doctors. We know different specialists. So let's put together a product, a health challenge, where instead of learning from us, we're going to have 7 experts over 7 days. And you get a live session with each of the experts. And not only that, but they decided to use all of the past marketing strategies. So social media, paid ads, affiliates, and emails. And now their community is 100,000 people from all the other activities they did. And the results, they crossed $1 million in 6 months. I put a QR code here where if you can get more details of the strategy after it's free, if you want to learn more. But what's interesting, and this is the big takeaway that I want to share with you, right? They didn't just launch a product. This is the mistake I see a lot of creators make. They launched an entire business. You saw it wasn't just one product, it wasn't just one course or one event. And this is the power of community. This is the method, the community method. Remember, they started with a challenge, then they did an upsell, then they sold a digital product, then they sold an event, and now actually their next goal is to sell an annual membership so they can actually earn money every month. So their community business is an entire product journey. And not only that, but their community can also, and your community can also be a marketplace. Remember, a brand came to the community and said, I want to sponsor something for your community. And they had experts who can actually offer products inside the community. So see the potential of when you have these people all in one space. And to be clear, this is not just one creator. This is happening everywhere, okay, all around the world. So we talked about, Budget Babe in Singapore and how she 5x'd her revenue, but it's not just her, right? In America, this creator doubled their sales by turning physical events into an online community using Nas.io. In India, this creator, Ankur Varaku, he's a very big creator, only sold online courses, and then we worked with him to launch challenges, and he got thousands more users. In the UK, this person had a WhatsApp group, a free WhatsApp group, and they turned it into a community membership. In Mexico, this person was a public speaking teacher, and they turned it into an online high-ticket community. The old model is a single product. The new model is to build an entire community ecosystem. And why that's important is because when you build a community business, the value you create is not just your content. it is actually also in the people inside the community and the network that you create. And at the same time, you're able to make money, right? The best part of this is that you don't need many followers. You just need 100 fans to get started. This is not something you do when you're super viral. You don't have to wait. You can start this straight away. That's the future, and that's the power of Nas.io. This is what I spend every day, and the team spends, obsessing of how we can help people build community businesses. So over the next 5 years, we are on a mission to help hundreds of thousands of creators and entrepreneurs build community businesses. And as you see, there's a lot of education of how to do it. And of course, you need technology and platforms. So I want to leave you with this thought. Last year, I stood up here and I told you about the idea of a community business. This year, I stand on this stage and say, millions of dollars a year are being made through community businesses. Next year, who knows? But I'm excited to find out. So I think it's time, my main message to you is, it's time to join this movement. It's time to create your community business. And as I said, if you want to take that step, we wanted to create a free resource for you. Scan the QR code. It's absolutely free. You can learn more of these strategies. But most importantly, I'm excited what the future will bring. I'm excited for all of you to start building sustainable income online. Thank you for listening.